Hello, my lovelies. Today is Tuesday, April 11th. It's Flosstube 28, and we are here. It's been a month, but we are back for an almost WIP parade. I think I am showing you all but 3 or 4 projects, so I've worked on a lot in the last month. So let's get to it. First, I don't even know where to start. We're going to start right here. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection kit. It is called Woodland Enchantress, and this one is my daily stitch. I stitch on it for at least 30 minutes a day, except I haven't done that for a couple, not quite 2 full weeks, maybe just 1 week. I haven't done it for the last week. So I do miss some days here and there, but mostly I don't miss out on it. Anyway, you'll see why I missed out on stitching that soon. So I'm not taking this out of the hoop, but this is where it's at. I have been working the background all the way. I started here, I worked my way across and down. Look at her glow, it looks fantastic. And then I got down to the bottom and I worked my way across. There's some empty stitches here, and now I have to fill in all of this. There is some up here. There's also some up here that I didn't do because when I was working up in this quadrant, my Q-snap didn't come down far enough. So I am missing some things here. So I will finish this quarter and here, and then I can start her dress, and I'm going to start it from here, and I'm going to work my way up. I'm very excited to get the background done and just see her outline. Silhouette? I mean, is it a silhouette when it's negative space? I guess it still is, but it doesn't matter. It looks so good. Here, you can see these red. These are going to be flowers. There's actually going to be quite a bit of, I guess, confetti down here because there's going to be a lot of like these things and then some greenery all in through here. There is back stitching, but I'm going to be leaving the back stitch for probably the very end because I don't want to stick them in hoops or Q-snaps with the back stitching too much. So there's that. Oh boy, I really have stuff everywhere, and I do want to keep it somewhat organized for when I put it away. But that could be tricky. Okay, next, this is a fostered project. This is Alara's oldest project, and I am doing back stitching for her. So she already did a lot of the back stitching and some of the cording, and I worked in let's see here, how to fold this up. I haven't shown this project enough to do this well. I worked in through here and over here. So that's what I've done so far. Everything else that you see she's done, but anyway, it doesn't probably matter, but that's what I've been working on, is here. I say I've been working on it, like I've worked a ton on it. I think I've spent like 2 mini sessions on it so far. It'll get done. It just hasn't been like high priority because I know I have a couple months in which to do it in. Alara knows it'll get done. Okay. In my regular rotation, which got disrupted over the last week and a half, but we're getting back on this week. This is my main focus. It is snowshoe hair 4, 7, I don't know. It has a number and I don't know what it is and it doesn't say. But it's snowshoe hair. It's available for purchase from the sewingshop.ca. Kaylee Tent Stitch is the mastermind there. And this I'm stitching for her. And I don't have a card to tell. I didn't ever make a card for this. This is 28 count fabric. It's dyed by Kaylee. And it's at 40%. I do know that. This is about halfway, I think, somewhere in here. And yeah, as you can see, I've been working it diagonally and working my way down. It'll be sad when I have to move my Q-snap because then I'm going to have to lop off the head and then it's just going to look like this blob. But it is looking so cute. Yeah, so cute. Every week that I work on this, so I work on it every other week. And I put in 10% every other week. Yeah. So by the end of this month, I should have it up to 60%. So that's good. Okay. I worked on The Summer Garden by the Drawn Thread. There we go. This, where is it? This is 32 count, I think. Where's my 32 count Belfast linen in Summer Khaki? I'm using all the called for things. And I'm not so sure that this is the fabric I would have picked for it. Actually, I know it's not the fabric I would have picked for it, but I don't hate it. I just don't think that the colors necessarily show up all fantastic. Especially down in here, there's a pink, and it really is not seeable. Anyway, so the week that I worked on this, I wanted to finish out, I had started this tree and I wanted to finish out the tree. So I did. I got all of I think it was mostly this section done. I put in the bird. It doesn't have any back stitching yet, but the bird is done otherwise. And then I started down here on the plants that are down below the tree and extend out this way. I'm going to work my way, what is that, to the left, down the left side, and then I will work my way on the right side. Let's see. Then I have memorabilia to show you. This is Sabrina. This one I'm working with Catherine at Needleberry Stitcher. She is stitching this. We have the same fabric, like same count and everything, same color. It's Sprite by Picture This Plus, but Catherine is stitching it as charted with the beads and everything. I made two modifications. Instead of beads, I'm stitching the DMC equivalent plus a blending filament to give it a little bit of sparkle. And then I'm also stitching the skin 1/1 full cross. So when she and I both complete our pieces, I'm going to road trip to her or something like that. I like road tripping, so Catherine, I will road trip to you. And we will show them side by side so that you can see the comparison in like the same lighting and the same conditions, because you don't have to stitch these with beads. They're beautiful without beads, but you also don't have to be scared of beads. But I also understand there's many reasons why someone might not want to stitch with beads. So we're showing options. So this is a 28 count Picture This Plus by, or called Sprite, I already said that. And I finished all of the skin. That was my goal when I pulled this out, is I wanted to get all of that skin finished. And I backstitched as far as I could. There is backstitching down here, however, there's surrounding stitches that aren't in yet, so they're parked up here. That's what these hanging threads are. So this and up here, all of those would be beads, but in my version, they're just like spark. The sparkle is very subtle. You can see it in person. It's not going to show up over camera, but you can see it a little bit. But that's my version. And then you've got the 1/1 skin. I think next time I come, I'm going to what I think I'm going to do is do this section next. Except then I know that leaves her dress, which is massive. But I do think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to come over here and work here. Maybe I'll alternate. We'll see. It's several weeks before I get back to this. Another month at least. Over a month, actually, because of May is coming up. I'll tell you about May in a second. Probably not in a second, because we've got projects. We've got plenty of projects to cover still. Okay. This How Great Thou Art by My Big Toe Designs. This one, where go? Oh, look how far I got. So I know in my last video I had started these words and I finished them. And then I took it traveling with me somewhere, not like I just like in a meeting or whatever. And so I worked on like here and then I worked my way over to these words. So this is one of my regular rotation pieces. It's project 6. But it is the one that I've been grabbing to like just take with me with a bag. I've not been taking the reindeer from the Year in the Woods. I've been taking this project. I think just because I want to get things done. So this is kind of getting 2 slots. It's getting that one in my rotation, which realistically it's project 6, but because project 1 is every other week, this is really only getting that 1 week out of 12 weeks. And so that's really not a lot to get it worked on. Anyway, it's the one that's closest to a finish. That's the category in my rotation for this project. I didn't tell you the categories for the other ones. I've got the focus on the finish, that's the rabbit. The drawn thread one is specialty stitches, although I haven't put any specialty stitches in it. That's the category. Sabrina is non-full coverage, and then this one is focus on the finish. The other two categories are full coverage, which, anyway, full coverage and Lord of the Rings. Oh, that was a 28 count linen in white chocolate, this one. Okay, oh, hold on. I need to put them in the right spots. Okay, so I worked on Mayari. Mayari, Deity of the Moon by Bella Filipina. I am pretty darned happy with this one. She's on a 28 count opalescent Lugana. It's called Cosmos by Be Stitch Me. And I have her halo finished except for the treasures. I did not put the treasures in yet, but I fully beaded it. And it's so pretty. I'm going to have Kaylin insert a picture of what this looked like without the beading, with the stitching done. There's one DMC color in the halo and 1, 2, 3, yes, 3 colors of Krynic in it, okay? So that's what it looked like before all the beading, and this is what it looks like afterwards. It just makes such a difference. Okay. And it is so hard. Like, without that before and after picture, you can't tell how many beads are in this sucker unless you're seeing it in person. But there's so many beads in here. It was so fun to do. I will say, even though this is 28 count, it is hand dyed, so it's shrunk just a little bit. Not very much, but I did have some struggles with some overcrowding of the beadings, but I did make it work out just fine, and it looks so good. So this outer border has 2 different color beads. It's like a clear and a silver gray. And then the inner one has the clear and a purple. And then you've got that turquoise and an orange, and you've got pink. I think you've got a bright pink, and then you've got like a darker pink, and then you've got the purple. And then orange. If I didn't say, there's orange here too. So lots of beads. So next time she comes out, I will work on her head. But I do need to get scroll rods for her now that I've beaded, because she's not going back in a Q-snap. She can go in a Q-snap for me to work on her head here, but otherwise I need scroll rods now. But I'm so happy with it. These big spots right here, that's where the, no, and here, and here, and here. That's where the charms need to go, or treasures, whatever they're called. I do have a swath of her down here. It's gonna look so good. I am very, very pleased with that. That makes me very, very happy. The beading was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it immensely. At some point I decided it was time to go back to this. This is Northern Expressions Needlework, their Twisted Band Sampler. Now, this was one of my January WIP Go pieces. And I had it, a meltdown. I had an absolute meltdown while working on it, and I needed it to go away, and I hadn't finished what I wanted to do as part of WIP Go, which was I wanted to get all of the butterfly band stitched. But because of my meltdown, I didn't make it, so I was good with the work that I had done, but I also still kind of wanted to get that done, you know? So I was finally ready emotionally to do that. This is 32 count Belfast linen in, well, black. And that's what I did. I finished the butterfly band. I'm so happy with it. If you haven't worked on dark fabric, I highly recommend a light pad to go underneath it while you're working on it. If you don't have a light pad, try putting like a towel or a sheet or blanket that is very, very light colored, as well as having some pretty good lighting. But anything that you can do to backlight it will actually be very helpful with dark fabric. So there's your tip. It is stitched, it's over 2. This is 1 over 2. These are specialty stitches, so they're 1 over whatever. And then this is 2 over 2. And 1 over 2. I think, yeah, anyway, like I said, big old meltdowns, but ideally I'm stitching it 1 over 2 with a Veriswa. Theoretically, that's what most of this piece is going to end up like. Yeah. Anyway, so the next time I work on this will be specialty stitch band. So that'll be fun. I do enjoy specialty stitches too. And Northern Expression Needleworks have diagrams to show you how to do it. I'll show you some of them with numbers so that you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So they're very clear to follow. It's getting the initial placement can be difficult, but after that it's pretty easy to just go down the row once you figure those things out. Okay, next is another fostered project. This one's also Alara's. This one she very, very kindly fostered to me because during the holiday seasons it tends to be very, very like busy for me, and I usually feel a lot of stress from being pulled in different directions, and I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to stitch like my normal things, and then I would just like not stitch, and I wanted something very, very easy for my brain. So anyway, she sent me one of her stamped kits, and it's been so good to be able to pull it. It's often one that I will take and like stick in my bag for, you know, I might be going out to eat. I might think that I have a few minutes at a store if, you know, like I take Kaylin shopping and but I don't need anything, you know, like just moments like that. Doctor's offices. So it's been perfect because there's less. This is the back. It's a little harder to see because you can see all the bleed through, but up here you can see all of the color that makes sense. There's some other little bits here and there, but you can't really see those. But this, so that's what I've done. This purple and white, that's all part of it here. So, like that. And yeah, this white is all stitched colors, yeah. So I'm just working on the sky goes down to here. Because you can see these jumping up. But yeah, this is where the sea starts, and this is the sky. There's no goal whatsoever with this. It is literally just when I need stitching that's low brain power. This really is perfect for it. Okay. Next, I'm going to show you a finish. I still have more projects to show you, but I'm going to show you my finish. I finished it this morning because I really needed to have it finished for today. Okay, so story time. A couple weeks ago, I don't know, how long has it been now? It doesn't matter. A couple weeks ago, I offered up to somebody who was trying to finish a piece. Their oldest project is one that they were not enjoying stitching on, and they had about 7,000 stitches left. And she wanted it done, but she didn't want to be stitching on it. So I asked if like a little friendly competition would be helpful. And then I realized that the closest like to a finish that was going to have close to enough stitches was like 10,000 stitches left. Something like that. So I did end up having more stitches than she did to work through, but that's okay. I didn't actually think that I was going to like win or anything, but I knew that I would light her fire and she would hustle that sucker. So we were supposed to take all of April pretty much to like work through these, and I'm like, that's doable. I could totally fit it in with my regular plans. And then she does, like, she has those random wheels set up. She has two of them. One is her projects and one is her goals. And so she spins them both for her weekly project. And she spun her project that she was trying to finish and spun like 5,000 stitches, which is almost all of what she had left. So I was like, oh, I need to like hustle on this sucker. Like, let me see how much of this one project can I get done before she gets done. Like, there really was no way that I was going to finish before her, especially because for like 4 of those days I was like out of town with family. And even though I stitched on it a lot still, it was the only thing I worked on. Anyway, it was like, how much can I finish before she's done? I was pretty proud of myself. And then she finished last Friday, and I got through all of my stitching Sunday evening. There was just one thing left for me to do, which I'll explain after I show you because it'll be easier. And that's what I finished up this morning. So that was the story. What I stitched was Snuggle Up No Me's. This was from Kaylee Tent Stitch, the same one who did the snowshoe hare from the sewingshop.ca. You can get this also on her website. And that's what my finish looks like, everybody. This is fabric that started out like it was a dusty rose color, but I dyed it to be what it is now. And then I put Nomis on it, and it's beautiful, and I have more left I can use for something else. But look at that. Oh my word. Snuggle up, Nomis. It's cold outside. I mean, it's definitely not today. It's like 75 degrees. But, yes. There are two, okay. The chart is actually like more of a yellow nose, but Alara asked for a cold nose version, and I liked it so much that I asked for that too. So this is the cold nose version, and it's perfection. But I made a change. The original picture, which I actually have no idea where my picture of it is. I tried to find it, but I couldn't. Anyway, oh, you know what? I can show you the mock-up. View mock-up. Okay. I mean, it's hard to with the glaring though. Hi, ring light. Okay, so that's, you can see this is the yellow nose. And then look, this section right here is what I changed. Okay, do you see that? Oh my gosh, the glare. I'm trying to, it's so annoying. Okay, this right here. These are marshmallows, okay? However, I have never seen them as marshmallows. They look like teeth to me. And it did take me a while to figure out why, and I did figure out why, and that's okay. But they look like teeth to me, and so I'm super sorry to anybody else who's stitching this, who's already stitched that, and now they can't unsee the teeth. I'm really sorry about that, but I couldn't do it. So I will tell you what I ended up doing. Because I did try a couple different things, but what I ended up doing was this. I stitched the rest of the mug. I just gave it a back. And then that left me with like 10 beard spaces that needed to just like be filled in. So I picked some of the blue colors and filled it in. And then I actually changed the brown color because it was charted to be this same color. And I did actually start to stitch it, but it was not the right color for this. It was more like coffee than hot chocolate. But if you're putting marshmallows in it, it just needed to be dark. Oh, and also it was very similar color to the yellow actually stitched. So anyway, I just picked a different color. It's 08 if you want to know. I just literally went to my DMC and looked at the first slide and said, hey, this is brown and it's tonally about the right color. And so I used it. That's how I came across that. I didn't even look at all the other browns. And then I got beads and used 5 of them. Six, I can count. I used 6 beads. And they're my marshmallows. Doesn't it look so good? They're like little mini marshmallows in his mug now. And I love it and I adore it. And thank you so much, Kaylee. It's fantastic. Kaylin says that she adores his feet. Like, she thinks that might be her favorite thing. Which I think she said a little sheepishly because she actually doesn't like gnomes with legs. But he doesn't have legs, he just has, or visible legs, okay? She's like, no, gnomes don't need visible legs, but she does adore the feet. So I'm very happy about this. I have no idea how I'm going to finish it. Now that it's beads, it's certainly not going in a glass frame, but I don't know. It could be a nice, like, holiday pillow, maybe. So, I am so daggone proud of it. So, hey, Kaylin, this makes a really good screenshot for the thumbnail. Okay. Oh, this was 32 count. Did I say it was 32 count? I told you all about the color. It's 32 count linen, Belfast linen. The base was evening rose. I did dye it over with this other pink thing, so that's what I did. And I stitched it 2/2. I started it May 21st, 2022. So it's not even. I finished it within a year, guys. How exciting is that? Within a year, I finished a project. Who knew? Okay. Okay, so then the reason I really wanted to get that finished by end of day Sunday, which I mostly did. I actually had to go to the store to get beads, and that's why I finished the rest of that this morning, was because yesterday, Monday, April 10th, was the 100th day of the year. And last year, I decided for the 100th day I wanted to stitch 100 stitches on as many projects as I could. And I enjoyed it so much that I pretty much immediately decided I'm doing this every year. So I did it again this year. I was absolutely terrible about talking about it beforehand. So apologies to anybody who wanted to join in. I'm sorry. April 10th next year, okay? Because I don't think it's leap year. If it's leap year, it's not April 10th. But didn't we just have a leap year? Like, wasn't last year leap year? Anyway, doesn't matter. It's a whole nother year away. So what I decided I wanted to do this year was get 100 stitches in all of my digital full coverage projects. I do have 2 full coverage projects that are paper pattern. One is Woodland Enchantress, the Dimensions kit I showed at the beginning. And the other is Green Hills, which is a Riolis kit of the Shire. Those I didn't count as this full coverage deal. I just wanted all the ones in Pattern Keeper. And I discovered that I have 12 full coverage projects in Pattern Keeper. I need to finish something. It's fine. It's fine. It's just that touching all of these in such a close time span did remind me that I do love seeing progress on projects. But my rotation is set up for me to see progress, finish them, and then be able to pull in some of these other projects. So it's okay. It's okay, guys. But I'm excited to show you. So what I did was I sorted them in order of like stitches that I had completed on it. I don't want to say finished stitches because I don't mean like the final stitch count. Just like if I had 1,000 stitches in it, or if I had 400,000 stitches in it, okay? So it's my completed stitch count. And then I worked from the least amount to the greatest amount, and it was fun. Some of these projects have barely been touched, or I haven't touched in months, and so it was so nice to say, here's a little bit of love. I haven't forgotten about you, and I can't wait to hang out with you again. It was that kind of feeling. So, first was Spirit of the Phoenix. This is a Dakota Detweiler piece from Charting Creations. And I love it. But this was only the second time I had stitched on it. Alara and I had started it in November when we first met in person, just to commemorate our meeting in person. So this one actually ended up getting exactly 100 stitches in it. This is a 25 count Lugana. This looks like a lot of fabric. The project is not that big. I just didn't bother cutting down the fabric when I started this piece. So, yeah, there's that. I was lazy at the time. I'm stitching it 1/1 full cross on this 25 count. There's basically 2 colors in here so far, pretty much. It looks so exciting, I know that. You can tell exactly what's going on, right? It now has 427 stitches. It's my baby. It's my tiniest stitch. Like, it doesn't even have 1,000 stitches in it. How sad is that? It's so sad. It's 0.3% done. It needs more attention, but I can say that about all of them, and I would be correct every single time. Where do I, let's place this there. Next up, this is Canopy Heart. It is a Dakota Detweiler piece from Heaven and Earth Designs. I don't know. It's something, it just kind of tickles me a little bit that the 2 full coverage projects with the least amount of completed stitches are both Dakota Detweiler pieces. It just makes me laugh for some reason. This has 10 colors only. It is being stitched on 28 count. 1/1 full cross. Same as Beard of the Phoenix. So I had 1,200 in it, and then I worked in some parked threads like down here and over here. And I put in 129 stitches. So now we're at 0.44%. Yeah. It's also sad how much I love these pieces, and it just has this pitiful amount of stitching in it. They will all get their turn, right? They will all get their turn. Meanwhile, I will remind them how much I love them and give them some attention every once in a while. The Realm of Middle Earth. This is from Tilton Crafts, but you can no longer get it. To my knowledge, there is no licensed version of a Middle Earth map that is out there. But this one is the Tilton Crafts version. It is my largest project in terms of stitch count. It's in the high 700,000s, whereas my treasure hunt bookshelf is in the low 700,000s. So this is being stitched on 40 count Verdal, or Verdal, I don't know which it is. And I started in the middle, and all of those speckly things is what I stitched. Yeah, all of that speckly bits. So exciting, I know. This is 1/1 tent stitch on the 40 count, and I put in 100 something. I didn't write down specifically, but it's at 0.19% now. So this is 1,465 stitches in total right there. So this is a forest, and these are mountains. This is a very lightweight fabric. I really like it. It's different to work on. And yes, it's tiny, but then it makes the stitches so cute and tiny and adorable, and I love it. So there will be more 40 count projects in my future. Not necessarily full coverage, but I do have a plan to work with 40 count again. And Kaylin likes this idea also, and is very encouraging of me to do it. So one day. This, Kaylin, I need you to pop in a picture of this one for me. This is One to Rule Them All, aka the Precious. Not my precious, someone's precious. Gollum's precious. Anyway, it is the One Ring sitting on a map. And it's by Tilton Crafts. And it's the most exciting update ever because I put in 100 some odd black stitches. This is all black. All of it right there is black. So in total, this is 2,026 stitches and 2.52% finished. The black makes up about 1/10 of the entire piece, which is not very big. So next, this one has been almost a year since it's been touched. Last time I worked on this was Mania. This is Neuschwanstein Castle. The artist is Robert Finale. I do not believe that this is out there anywhere. You can find Robert Finale at some places, but not this piece. This piece actually was probably unlicensed when I bought it. This is 25 count Lugana. 2/1 tent stitch. And I put in 114 stitches. There we go. Down here, mostly, like, there's purple down here. That's where I put in the stitches. 114. 1.53% done. There we go. I'm trying not to say with every single one of these, like, I'm so sad at how little progress I have on it. But truthfully, I'm sad at how little progress there is on some of this. Okay, this one's a new one. You guys know this one very well at this point. Home in the Mountains by Golden Kite, also known as Rivendell. And I started this on my birthday, and many of you joined in either with this piece or another Lord of the Rings piece. And I've really been enjoying seeing the progress that people have made on this piece. Like, a lot of you has started in this corner and it looks so good. I started in this corner, so my colors are very different from yours, but it makes me so excited. This one took me a long time to get in 100 stitches because of all the blends, but I did get them done. Here we go. Yeah, I know I was filling in stitches mostly. I think sometimes I came out in here, but I mostly just was filling in stitches throughout there. The colors are amazing. Very, very lovely. And yes, lots of blends in this piece. You can buy versions without the blends, okay? But why make something easier for myself when I want all the details? So I did standard size with blends. Yeah, that's what I had to do it. So it now has 3,615 stitches and is at 1.05%. Oh, this is my last fostered project. This is my daughter's piece. It's called No Smoking. It's by Randall Spangler. Charted, there we go, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And it's a cutie. Stitching Big Things with Hallie, she was showing hers, and she had come down here, and you can start to see the letters, and it looks so good. Oh, you know, I stitched some of this white, and not this time, but the last time I worked on it, and I was like, where's the white coming from? It's this, it's not smoking. I understand now. Yeah, okay. All that to say, I put in 187 stitches, so it's at 5.27%. This is 25 count, 2 strands, 10th stitch. Most of this so far has been done by Kaylin, but over here a lot of, like, we're getting into what I've done. So I worked in here mostly, and then up in here, like the browns and stuff going on. And you know that white that I said? That's this right here. Anyway, that's what I worked on. Okay, Father Christmas with Toys. This is Yvonne Gilbert. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the max color version. And last time you saw this I was pushing so hard to get 10,000 stitches finished on it by the end of last year, which I did accomplish that, so you would have seen that. This is 28 count, 2/1/10 stitch, and I gave it 115 stitches. So it's at 6.43%. Oh. It looks chaotic completely. Okay, but what I stitched was light colors down in through here. I just took the lowest of the parked threads. So this is a light part in his hat, like the fur part, and I stitched them out. And so there's all throughout here is where the 115 stitches went. So I pulled it out and went, oh, that looks so good. It was man, some of this is so confetti heavy, but it looks so good. Really happy to have pulled it out. Honestly, all of them, it just felt so good to like say hi to all my friends again. to say I'm sorry that you are neglected. Like, you're not outside my heart. Just because, like, I keep acquiring too many friends, and yeah. I acquire the friends, and then I feel like I'm neglecting them. So, yeah, I need to... Hopefully I remember to talk about my rotation, because I might make a small tweak to it. I haven't totally decided yet, but hopefully oh, wait, let me just write that down on this paper. That tells me what else I don't want to remember. I mean, forget. Yes, what I don't want to forget to tell you. Now the trick is to look at my paper. This is Frodo and Galadriel. This is artwork by Matt Stewart. It's started by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this might make me the saddest of all. Because this is my oldest project. I started it in 2016. There was quite a bit of time between 2016 and 2019 in which I didn't really stitch a whole lot. For reasons. Not necessarily good reasons, but for reasons. And so even though 2016, so it's 6.5 years old now, and it's like 6%, like 1% per year is not something I'm personally happy with. So, because I'm for sure not going to live to be, 150 to, anyway. This is Frodo. I already told you all the things. When I unrolled this, I was like, oh yeah, all the parked threads. Huh, I did that. Yes, I did. So, what I stitched, I put in 119 stitches here. Like a few on the end here and then down in here. Basically, I took parked threads and I stitched them in. But yeah, that's what I have. I know that there is, page 1 is finished over here. And I think halfway across is somewhere here. I think I crossed halfway at some, I don't know. It's been a while. I love this coloring though. The trees of Lothlorien are gorgeous. But really, 6.5 years and I only have done this? Like, that's just, I'm not okay with that. I really am not. And I know that I can do better if I stop acquiring new friends. Or allow the new friends to be waiting rather than ones like this. Because yes, it's only at 6.07%. Like I said, not okay with it. Okay. Bubble Bubble Chocolate Trouble by Randall Spangler, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Yeah. This I put in 119 stitches, so we're now at 5.03%. Like, how does this piece have more stitches than Frodo and Galadriel? I mean, it's a lot less colors for one thing, but clearly I have given it more. It's got more stitches. I put in blue. Down here. I put in blue down in this section. This is the edge of the moon. I am stitching like all the sky, leaving the moon out. Like I'm not, she wants me to, Kaylin, she meaning Kaylin, wants me to stitch all the sky first. And then I can stitch the moon, and then I can stitch the house, and then I think I can go down and get the ground and the pumpkins and everything. I think she wants me to do the cauldron and leave the dragons for the very last. I don't know. And she could definitely change her mind before I even get there. So, but it is fun to get the sky, and just work on it. There's not a lot of confetti in that at all, which I guess is why it's further along than Frodo. But still. Okay. Queen of the Night. This is artwork by Josephine Wall. It is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Yes. This is, I think I forgot to say that Bubble Bubble was 25 count. This is also 25 count. 2/1 tent stitch. Really, just the Dakota Detweilers are full cross. Everything else is tent stitch. Here it is in its entirety. This is so close to 30%. 29.84%. I put in 102 stitches in it yesterday. I worked over here, but they are quite spread out because I think one thread went like wee, and another one went sound effects and all, you guys. I did just take parked threads and stitched them in. Do you see a theme? I don't know if that's what I'll do, like stitch them all in next time I pull all of these out. But it was an easy choice to pick parked threads and stitch them in when I was just trying to get in 100 stitches. So that's what the moon is looking like, and that's what it looks like overall. Almost to 30%. So close. When the snowshoe hare is finished, this piece is going to become the focus piece. It's going to go into that slot of my rotation, the focus and the finish slot. So I have one more WIP to show you. It's not going to be the only thing I have to show you. I have many more things to show you and to talk about. But we are on the last of the WIPs. This is my bookshelf. This is Treasure Hunt Bookshelf. Charted, or artwork by Amy Stewart, and is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the Super Size Max Color version. And this year I've been stitching in this third shelf. To have the third shelf finished October 31st-ish. I did gain a week because the stitching in the springs in November is the second weekend, not the first weekend. So I did gain like a full week that I could stitch the third shelf instead. I put in, actually I stitched on this today as well, so, but I did give it its 100 whatever stitches yesterday, and then almost 700 stitches today, actually. But from the last time you saw it a month ago, 8,768 that's not correct at all. I put in more stitches in that. Here we go, 11,694 stitches. So it's at 63.77%. It was close to 2 weeks of not stitching on this, actually. Because the week, about 3 or 4 days before I was out of town, I just did not feel up to sitting on my cushion, and it's not uncomfortable too, but I was just physically uncomfortable and emotionally I was stable, okay? I'm stable. My medication is fantastic. So, like, I don't spiral, but, like, I was feeling angry. Yeah. What is... Oh, this goes to this. And I just didn't feel like mentally working myself through sitting and working on the project. So I have calculated in days off, so I just was like, I'm just going to take days off. And then I realized, well, I'm also going to be out of town next week, so at least half the time. So I'll just when I come back, I will stitch on it. But then I was working so hard on Nomis, and so I was like, next week. It's just going to be next week. And it was. It was yesterday, the 100th day of the year, and then today I just got back into it. So it does feel good to have gotten back into it. I am not even showing you the project while I'm talking to you about this. So 63.77%. This is 28 count 2/1/10 stitch. There we go. Okay. So I never know where I was last time, but I can tell you that this is halfway across the shelf. Like, this is the halfway mark. And the section I'm stitching it, you know, diagonally, like normal, ends somewhere by this butterfly. It's a big section. So my diagonal will practically go to the bottom. I think it ends about here before they start shortening. Like, it's just going to be like super, super long diagonals here. And then they start shortening again to here. So that's what I've been working on, is here. This window is just about done. There is another candle, so candle, candle, candle. This is, I think this is pretty much done. It just isn't filled up around it, so it doesn't look done, but it is, I think. Maybe another color. I can't remember. Yeah, there is a couple empty spaces in through here, but not much. So yeah. And these colors right here, I'm pretty certain is the object that spans this whole section. So I am intentionally being vague because some of you like to guess what it is that I'm stitching, and I don't want to give it away if you don't know what it is yet. So, but it'll go that far. So it did feel really good to get back to it today. Well, last night, but it was also 11 o'clock when I was working on it. I finished up at 11:30 p.m. yesterday. I might need to stop doing challengey type things so close to each other, because I am not a competitive person, but man, I like accomplishing those goals like that. So 100th day of the year, I was like, there's no way I'm going to work through all 12 of the projects. And then I did, because I got to the time when I'm like, oh, I'm kind of sleepy. I have enough time for like one more project. And I did that, and that was like project 9. And then I was like, there's only 3 left. Just do it. Like, just do them all. So I did. Which probably wasn't the best thing, because that meant like 2 nights in a row I deliberately stayed up very late. But like both for good causes. It's fine. The night before, Sunday night, when I was finishing Nomi's, actually, I had a digital hangout. A friend of mine, he well, he actually asked me a couple months ago, but like was willing to wait until I was like in a better frame of mind, kind of a thing. Anyway, he invited me to share in his Easter tradition of watching. There's this one movie that he watches on Easter. And he like sent me the link to it, and I looked at it. I didn't recognize the name of it. And I opened the link, and I had to tell him, I was like, okay, but I don't watch horror movies. And he was like, okay, but I can respect that, and like, no judgment and no pressure, but did you watch the trailer? Because I honestly don't see this as a horror film. Like, it's horse-sized bunnies terrorizing a town. And I'm like, okay, I'll watch the trailer, but let me wait until it's daylight. Just in case. And so I watched the trailer, and I was like, okay, we can try this. I told him I was willing. It's like, I'm willing. We can try this. And he said, okay, but you'll have to tell me if it's too much. Like, I have a backup movie, and I have a backup for the backup movie. So, he was prepared just in case I wasn't going to handle it. Historically, I don't handle horror, like I don't handle dark things very well. But I'm also curious to see what my tolerance level is on this medication. Because if I can still experience feelings of like, I don't know, anger and rage and frustration, but not spiral into like darkness and depression because of it, like that, it's become like temporary. Okay, this is like the first time in my life that I've experienced this. Like, oh, this is what emotions are supposed to do. They're not supposed to, like, I'm deeply affected. And sometimes it's so deep that it's definitely a spiral. And it can go both ways. The happiness spiral up and the depression spiral down. It's just much more noticeable on the downward spiral, obviously. But if I can now experience those things and still feel stable, then, you know, it's not like I want to go and experience like dark things. I am not a dark person. There are going to be certain like subject matters and portrayals that are always going to be very hard to handle, and I think probably should be hard to handle for anybody. It doesn't mean I should avoid those things, like, but approach with caution, right? That's why I was willing to try this, and I was very proud of myself for like just being very open with this friend of mine. Just being able to say, like, I might have trouble, like, I don't know. And it felt good to know that I was very comfortable with it too. I was comfortable advocating for myself, which shows a lot of progress in my own journey. Why am I going into all of this? I still have things to show you guys. Oh, I know what I was going with. So we watched this movie about horse-sized bunnies terrorizing the town, and we talked throughout it. It was a digital hangout. We live in different states, and he shared. We did it through Discord. He shared his screen. Yeah. So we could still talk to each other while the movie was going on, and we did. And then after the movie was over, we continued talking for like 3 more hours or something like that. I don't know. It was like midnight by the time we stopped talking. I don't know. Anyway, so that was Sunday evening, and then Monday happened, 100th day, and I make myself stay up late once more so that I could stitch on all of my digital full coverage patterns. Because that's what I do, I guess. Once I have this, like, kind of challenge set, like, once there becomes this official deadline goal thing, like, I'm like, oh, we're doing it. So I try not to do it for too many things. I mean, like, there's bookshelf, Nomi's happened, 100th day. I try not to do it with very many projects. Otherwise, I hyper-focus too much, and then I do things like miss out on sleep deliberately, and I don't think I need to deliberately miss out on sleep when I just naturally miss out on sleep. Anyway, okay. The things I have left to show you, I have a few projects that I'm going to work on. I thought I would show it to you. Literally, I'm showing everything. I think there's like 3 projects sitting there that I'm not showing you. So I have a few projects to show you that I will be working on. I have a few things that I've purchased that are stitching related. I have some yarn things to show, some diamond painting things to show. So I think I'm going to go in that order. Yes, let's talk the rest of my stitching things first. Plan-wise. So, my Mania, not Mania, WIP Go pieces for whatever month we're currently, in April, are, and I haven't touched either one of these yet, so, and it's halfway through the month, or it's the 11th, whatever. Long Dog Samplers, this is Pavon for These Times. I already worked on this once this year, so this is the last time I'll work on it unless I just pull it out because I'm feeling it. But it won't get called again through WIP Go. That's what I'm saying. This I am stitching. It's a 36 count even weave, and I'm stitching it with Silks for You. That's where it's at now. I hand dyed this fabric. I really wanted a dark purple with silver thread, and I got it, and it's amazing, and I love it. And I would, this is dumb, I should not say this. I would love the top row done, but there's like 3 more of these things. They don't have that same shape in it, but there's like 3 more all the way across. I would love to see that much of it done, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens. The other one is Cirque de Caro. This is Ink Circles. And I actually really love that these got called in the same month because This one is a gray fabric with the colored thread. This is another Silks For You thread, beautifully variegated. It is just gorgeous. I have no idea what I want to work on in this. Like, do I want to work here? Do I want to come down here? I don't know. But it's at 8.6%. So I could for sure get this to 10%. That would be quite lovely, at a minimum. But I tend to work on this motif by motif, and I will jump around as desired. So it's a little harder for me to pick out a specific area that I want to work on. Yeah, see, like I could work on this bigger one or this bigger one, or both. I don't know. And then like small ones surrounding it to fill it in. So those are what I will be working on for April WIP Go. And then I'm pretty certain where I'm at in my rotation is my rabbit is going to get attention this week. And then next week it's going to be my Reoless Green Hills. You can see Green Hills, but it's the Shire. This is what it looks like right now. It's quite lovely. I like it a lot. It's wool acrylic threads. I showed it more in my last video. And that'll actually take me, I should be back by in 2 weeks, honestly, truly. I much prefer filming every 2 weeks instead of these long stretches that it's been. So I should be back after that point, but then it would be going back to rabbit. And then Be Still My Soul. No. Then Sings My Soul. Yeah. How Great Thou Art. That's what it's called. One of those songs. How Great Thou Art. Okay. Now, 24-hour weekend is coming up again. Already. It's April 21st to the 23rd. I will be going live again for 24 hours. It's like my favorite thing to do. And I'll let you know right now it will be heavy on Friday and Saturday and not so much on Sunday. Pretty much like last time. I think I did 11 to 12 hours or 10 to 11 hours on Friday and Saturday each because I only had a couple hours on Sunday. That's basically what it is going to be again. I have a chorale performance that night. And I don't know when call time is yet. And co-parenting is before then. So, yeah. I'll really only have a couple hours on Sunday. And so it will be mostly Friday and Saturday with a little bit of Sunday. So that's April 21 through 23. My idea, thanks to Alara, is can I get 5,000 stitches on my bookshelf within that 24 hours? But do I really want to stitch on my bookshelf for 24 hours? So maybe what I will do is like I don't know. I don't know what I will do yet. I'm trying to tell myself to let go of that idea, because what if I don't want to be stitching on it for 24 hours? Well, then maybe I should just stitch 5,000 stitches in less than 24 hours. I don't know. But that is, like I said, I was just telling you already, probably not just at this point, it was probably 45 minutes ago, how I should stop giving myself these challenges. But once my brain has like latched onto it, it's hard to make myself let go of it. So 24 hours of cross stitch. It's coming up. After that is May. I don't have a plan, but I have a theme for May. I want to do Middle Earth Mania. I was thinking of taking my pieces from last year and like moving them forward, because I still know what days I worked on them, and then any new projects like plugging them in. But I really like the idea of Middle Earth Mania and giving all of my Lord of the Rings pattern attention, but especially Frodo and Galadriel as my oldest piece. I would really love to see that one have more progress. So I haven't fleshed out specific plans yet, but I'm pretty certain that my mania is going to be Middle Earth Mania. I just have to decide, am I going to keep with my regular rotation or not? Do I put it completely on hold? Do I just pick easy things? I'll have WIP Go pieces in there too. We'll see. But Middle Earth will focus heavily in May. I welcome any ideas you may have on how I might want to structure that. Rotation tweak. This is the thing that I said, hopefully I remembered to tell you about. So I have categories for each of them, right? Focus on the finish. It's currently Rabbit, and it will be Queen of the Night afterwards. Let me get my list. Because this means I don't have to try to recall it from my brain. Okay, project 2 is, it's currently Rivendell, which is my full coverage piece. But it's very new, so I might switch out that Rivendell piece for maybe Frodo and Galadriel. We'll see. I don't really need to decide until that project comes up again, right? That week. The Drawn Thread, the Summer Garden, that one's specialty stitches. That one can stay. I'm fine with that. I'd like to see it done. Number 4 is Sabrina, which is non-full coverage. Again, that one's going to stay because I would really love to see it finished and be able to compare it with Catherine's. 5 is the Shire, which is Lord of the Rings. So that could stay, or I could put in like, I don't know. We'll see. I do love the colors of that one right now, so I think that one might stay, and Rivendell might be the one that gets swapped out for Frodo. But I feel like Frodo and Galadriel needs to be in one of those two spots. Simply because it is my oldest piece, and it really, like, is so sad that it's only at 6% for being how old it is. And my 6th piece right now is the piece I did, How Great Thou Art, and that one is close to a finish. So sometimes when I find like I said, I already explained about that one. I take it traveling with me. When it is finished, I don't know. I'll have to see which one is next closest to a finish at that point. Like it could actually be my reindeer that I put in. Because I don't actually have a lot. Most of my other pieces aren't close to a finish. So, and they're getting bigger and bigger. Like my small ones are getting done. And so I'm hitting this point where it's just going to take longer to reach those finishes. So, which is fine. I have that focus on a finish slot, which gets hit every other week. And so that project always is going to see a lot of progress. Same with my daily 30 stitch piece is it gets regular continuous progress. And it does. I love seeing the progress in all of these projects. And yeah, just being able to like, look at that, I did that thing. And showing you all of this today has been so good in seeing that. Okay, I bought some things. This is from Hobby Lobby. People told me, like a lot of Hobby Lobby stuff was getting clearanced out. I know at my store what they were doing was a whole big revamping of where shelving was. They actually moved the cross-stitching section completely. We were just there yesterday when I got the beads, so we saw that they moved it to a completely different section. But I feel like I have felt for a long time like Hobby Lobby is getting rid of like their kits and things. And now I'm that's really what it seems like. They have their threads, they have the DMC, they still have fabric. They didn't clearance out a lot of the fabric. Although now the thread and the fabric are in different places. Like the yarn is in between the DMC and the fabric. It's kind of weird. That's okay, whatever. So you have to walk a few aisles away. Whatever. Anyway, so I went to go see what was clearance down, and this is what I found. Well, this is what I decided to buy. I didn't buy everything I found. And I haven't looked at this since I bought it, so it's gonna be a surprise for me too. Oh, yeah. Okay, so, this is a toile. We basically just grabbed one of every color that they had. I've never ever worked with a toile before, but it's like, look at that, it's sparkly, so why wouldn't I grab it? No idea what to use this for, so, but I have it. Every color that was available, they were missing a lot of colors. There was like this purple one. I really, really wanted to get more of that, but I mean, because it's $5.50, like, and I love $5.50. But this was the only one they had. I couldn't get more of them. But I got duplicates of a couple others that I thought I would like. We saw this. It was 75 cents, but it's a needle minder. There's supposed to be 3 of them, but there's just one. But the backs are so cute. And I can attach something else to them. So I got it. And then I got, this is a Dimensions Dragonfly pair. It's not a petite, but it is little. It's a 5x5. It's a needlepoint kit. So it's not actually cross, it's needlepoint. I think, Alara, is this the one that you have? I think this is the one you have. But I got that. This is embroidery. It says hello. And I love these flowers. So, and I'm feeling spring vibes, obviously. Loved the coloring. It was just so sweet. This is 32 count Belfast linen in natural. And this is 11 count white Aida. I don't have any idea what I'm going to do with it, but when you see an entire tube for sale, I mean, this was $2.99. You get it. I literally kept walking away from it, and then I just kept going back to it. Because, but it's 11 count. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I have it now. And I got it on sale. I also keep forgetting, but I was gifted some things digitally. So again, Kaylin, you are going to need to pop up pictures for me. Alara gifted me Once Upon a Fairy Tale, an Amy Stewart bookshelf. It's the other Amy Stewart bookshelf that I would love to do in my lifetime. And Siska on Instagram, I super apologize if that's not correct pronunciation of your name. She gifted me Gypsy Firefly in Max Color. Yeah. Which I'm dying to start. That one and the Starlight one that I also have. I really want to start both of those, but I just pulled out my 12 full coverage friends and I need to wait. So I was gifted those. Somebody else sent me a voucher, a gift card, whatever it's called, to 123 Stitch. I haven't used it yet because I can't decide what to use it on. But I will. And then I will tell you what I got with it. You know who you are. But you all are so sweet. So thank you. I'm pretty certain that's everything that I've gotten, and now that I haven't forgotten anything. I think. I hope. Okay, yarn things. I showed you, I think in my last video, Kaylin made a bucket hat, and then decided I looked better in it, so she gifted it to me. Well, she made herself this strawberry hat. And she looks so cute in it. But yeah, this is, right? I'm not really going to put it on, but she looks really cute in it. So, she did not follow a pattern for this. She did ask me certain questions, like how to make sure that this going out in the round, but it would stay flat. And then how to curve it and how quickly, and then how to, like, we did collaborate a little bit on some of those features, but yeah, she didn't follow a pattern. She never does. She is remaking her chunky blanket, and it's been sitting in my bedroom for like 2 weeks while she's been remaking it. I'm pretty certain I've shown it to you guys before, but ultimately she was unhappy with how it was. There were some mistakes that she didn't like in it, so she took it all out and now is redoing it. I have been working on a blanket. I really only work on this Tuesday evenings when I'm sitting at the dance studio while she's in class. So, that's the bottom. It's all folded up, and I don't really want to unfold it, but that's where it's at right now. This is Addict 24. It's a free pattern. Just go to her blog, Addict 24. It's a typepad.com. I don't know. If you Googled Addict 24, you'll find her. This is her crochet along for this year. That's finished, and I'm not. Spring Frost, I think is what it's called. I'm so helpful to you guys in being able to tell you all the things, but it's very enjoyable, and yes, I have not put in any ends yet, and I really ought to, but I haven't. Haven't yet. Oh, it's because last time I was working on it, I was going to, and then I discovered that Kaylin took both my needles, my tapestry needles, and my scissors out of my bag, and I had neither of those. I don't think she's put them away yet, so I need to remember to do that before tonight. Okay, last category is diamond painting. I realized I never showed you the finish of my first diamond painting. This is black and white. Deborah Lewis is the artist, and the canvas is from Diamond Art Club. I bought it in a store, but it is available on the Diamond Art Club website. It's so sparkly and pretty. I have no idea. I need to get a way to seal it. I haven't gotten a sealer thing yet, and I don't know what to do in terms of framing it. I don't know. I've never done anything. So it's beautiful and pretty, and I don't know what to do next. So so pretty. So good looking. Look at that. Okay. And then my current diamond painting, it's called Moonlight Bath. It's a Randall Spangler. You can get this as a cross stitch from Heaven and Earth Design. And it is one that I really wanted to do as a cross stitch. So when I saw it as a diamond painting, I was like, oh, I have to have it as the diamond painting with all the sparkles, because for some reason, it just looks, it's just going to be so good in the sparkles. It's huge. It's almost 5 feet tall. I'm not going to unroll it for you guys, but this is where I'm at so far. This is halfway through the top. So that's all I've got. I can show you a little bit of it, So, I don't work on this as often as I ought to. Well, no, there's no ought to. I just don't work on it very often. But I do very much enjoy working on it, so yes. I always have here's a plan, this is what I'm going to work on. And I do really well following my plan. But I also, when people say, oh, I'd love to see you work on this, or, for some reason, give me an extra reason to work on a project that I've already been working on, or I have started, it makes me want to do it, Nomi's got pulled out with a challenge to help, nudge along somebody who was trying to get something done. I kept her company by stitching Nomi's. And the last time I worked on the diamond painting was because Rachel, you had said in the past that you would love a like diamond paint with me, like to see it instead like as a stitch with me, but diamond painting. And that's the last. So I was like, I can do that. I can totally do it. Yeah. So anyway, that is all. That's all I've got. Legit almost a full parade. Hold on. The ones I did not show you. Reindeer. Victorian Christmas bell pull. Autumn water garden. My chatelaine. The house plants from Owl Forest. And this is a garden, peaceful garden path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I showed you every but 5. That's why this is almost 2 hours long. So I think I have covered everything. I think if you have any questions or comments or concerns or fun things to share or completely random things, feel free. Leave me a comment down here in the comment section here on YouTube. You can direct message me on Instagram if you would rather. That is the Brown-Eyed Stitcher on Instagram. If you're on Discord, if you're on the Suki Village on Discord, you can message there. You can also direct message through Discord as well, so you can do that. If you're not on Discord with us in the village, but you would like to, send me a message and I can get you a fresh invite link. Email's the worst way to get rid of me. Don't know what where did that slip come from? Email's the worst way to get in contact with me because it is a black hole and I haven't paid any attention to it. Well, I do pay attention to it, but I miss stuff all the time. So that's why you don't often see me sharing my email address. It's solely because I'm highly likely to not see it unless I know to expect it. So, like, hey, go look for an email from me. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go look for it. Yeah. Anyway, I will try to answer every question that comes my way to the best of my ability. So please, like, ask any of them that you want. If you just need somebody to reach out to, I'm available as well. If you need company, we can do a video call if you want, you know. It's all good. Much love to all of you. Thank you for spending the last 2 hours of your life with me. I hope that whatever you were working on, whether it was laundry or cleaning or rocking a baby or stitching or taking a walk or I don't know, maybe you're on a drive, a long commute, whatever you were doing, I hope that I have been decent enough company for you and that no harm or accident has come and befallen you because of me. I really need to stop now because I don't... Wow. Yeah. Okay. Kaylin should be proud of me. I wore my microphone. Every video she yells at me because I haven't worn my microphone. But this time I wore my microphone and I paused where she told me I needed to pause and I pointed out a good thumbnail. So hopefully that happens. Anyway, I love you all. And whew, I'll chat with you later. Goodbye.